frustrated parent makes headway tonight after voicing concerns months ago about the principal at his child's school. But as Jessica Gill explains, that parent's issue with OPS isn't so elementary anymore.
He's a parent, a member of PTA, and very passionate about his children's education. So when Alex Gates felt the principal of his daughter's elementary school was no longer fit to lead, he addressed the superintendent. That's Mark Evans. A chain of emails ensued back and forth between he and Dr. Evans. And when Gates felt he was getting nowhere with his concerns,
and it really felt like he was just trying to brush me off.
He addressed the school board, asking for two different things. One, a process for parents when they feel a principal's performance ought to be reviewed, and two, an outlet for teachers to speak up with any concerns without the fear of being retaliated against.
Historically, with some other teachers in the past that had spoken up about issues at Edison, they were transferred out the next year.
For 5 minutes, he pleaded to the board. Then at another meeting the next day, Gates says the superintendent acted completely out of character.
He said, Alex, you're the lowest of the low that a person can be.
Alex says Evans threatened he had better get a lawyer, and that's when the ACLU got involved.
I really think that they were worried in general about the public's right to go to a board meeting and speak up about conditions and do so without really being threatened.
We reached out to the superintendent, tried sitting down with him before Monday night's board meeting. He declined to do so, saying it was at the meeting he would be addressing Mr. Gates. And he did.
I was misinterpreted, and I want to state to Mr. Gates that my intent was never to restrict, but to provide and facilitate a meeting. So I'm hopeful that he'll accept that apology, an opportunity maybe even to meet with the principal, which was one of the things we talked about.
Gates says he appreciates the response, but adds this whole situation has given him reason to believe that maybe the real problem is much bigger than he originally thought.
You know, we put a lot of emphasis on bullying in the classroom and about making sure that we don't create environments for students to be bullied. But it's really strange to know that this is happening inside the schools with principals, and then it's even happening from the top down, from the superintendent down to parents.
Mallory, it was at tonight's school board meeting that Alex Gates stood before the school board yet again, this time asking them that if they weren't okay with the type of leadership being shown by the superintendent, that they come forward and say something. As far as what comes of his plea this time around, we'll be sure and keep you posted. Reporting live with photographer Christian Shampoo, I'm Jessica Gill, WOWT 6 News.
Jessica, thanks. It was back in October when Gates had first addressed the board.